I'm very grateful to be part of the presentation today, and I've got lots to share with you. Mostly today is going to be educational on how to win in trading the U.S. stock indexes. And I'll show you more about Boomerang and our 90% winning trades that we offer and things like that. But the key of this webinar today is going to be focused on helping you to become educated if indeed you desire to become a career professional stock index futures trader. Now, what I mean by that is that the U.S. stock index markets, the futures market, which is what we trade, and we day trade those, are one of the most wonderful vehicles for creating a living in trading. But you got to know what you're doing, and that's what I'm going to show you all of the key 6 essential ingredients today, and I'll go over them briefly. This will be a very fast-moving webinar. It won't be boring, I guarantee you that. There's nothing boring about day trading the futures markets, especially the U.S. stock indexes. Now, our baby is the mini NAS contract, and that's shown right here on this screen. I'm going to show you a couple things on this screen just to give you a brief warm-up. This is the screen that we use every day on my daily live trading room, which is now one of the top trading rooms in the whole industry. We're up, just a quick brief recap, we're up closing the month yesterday up 204.75 NQ points. That translates into $4,095 per contract. Now keep in mind the mini NAS contract is very small. It only trades at $5 a tick. So what we call our blue collar working traders, they're trading a small $5,000 to $6,000 type account, trading 4 contracts. Keep in mind that they're up. That would mean they're up close to after commish, probably about $15,000 for the month, and that was just a fantastic month. And we can show you how to make that $100,000 to $200,000 a year by joining with us. And again, before I get into the super educational part, I'll just show you real quickly. If you want to know more information about that, you can join our room here. Just go to daytradersaction.com and then click on the Trading Live with Mohan. As you go in there, if you want a real quick education on day trading action, just click on my video. This is from a recent live recording in the room where I made 3 winning scalps in a row trading the mini NAS. You can watch this video. It's all free, and it talks to you about how to become a blue-collar working futures trader. And you can start out with just a little bit of money to start us out. Come into the room and check it out. And again, more on that later, but I'm anxious to get into my key part of the presentation today, which is later again I will talk to you about Boomerang Day Trader. Just to scroll back to today's action here, there were about all winning trades, about 6 authorized Boomerang trades here. You can see the yellow dots here in the lower move. When the price sets up right here, blue dots here, and up they go. Too fast to move here. I'm just going through like lightning. Now keep in mind, every 2 weeks we have a free training course that lasts, it's usually an hour of recorded presentation, and I just keep the questions open. Sometimes we'll stick around an hour or 2 longer, whatever traders need to get on the right side of the market. Here's a buy here. So there was like 5 or 6, there's another one here, a second level buy move on Boomerang. Here's a sell trade here where they smashed them real quick. We're looking for 3-point scalps. Here's a second level short. I know this is way too quick for you to understand Boomerang, and then again, there's only 3 simple rules, but we do have 90% winning trades, and I personally guarantee those. I've not had one single person in the years since we've offered that guarantee challenge that, because they buy Boomerang and it works just exactly like we say and exactly like I teach in the bi-weekly webinars where we go over each and every setup. It's a whole method that I have for training. And I've been doing this now, I've been in the industry 15 years, which is about 10 times longer than most of the people that are in the industry presenting. Some have been around a little longer, and that's good. But I'm just saying as far as day trading and all that, so I have a very, very good reputation, which I fight to maintain in this industry because there are a lot of frauds in the industry. Let me be honest with you. Let's speak truth here on this webinar, because that's the only way you're going to make money in futures trading. Is you have to be 1,000% honest with yourself and with your fills and your exits and your entries. And that's the nature of the market. So if you're looking for a career to make $100,000 to $200,000 a year starting out this year, pretty much right away, day trading the U.S. stock index futures, particularly the NASDAQ contract, I have a very, very exciting opportunity for you today to learn that. If that's not of interest to you and you're only interested in like stock trading or options trading and stuff like that, this particular webinar will not be of any interest to you at all unless you're just kind of an info seeker and looking to learn more. That's certainly wonderful. But I can start you out before I get into my 6 essential ingredients. The most primary ingredient is pictured right here. Now, what do you see here in this picture? That's right. You see a completely focused, dead-on killer, and that killer is out to kill you. When you put a position on in the futures market, this guy's going to show up and he's going to try to kill you. Therefore, in order for you to win and become a really good day trader, you have to become this person here. And we also train that in the webinar. We don't make you walk on hot coals or anything like Anthony Robbins does, although I did that when he first started doing that in the mid-'80s. It was a lot of fun. You know, I didn't think I could do it at first, but boy, after I heard him speak, I just stood in front of that 2,000-degree bed of hot coals and walked right over them. So it proves, and that's all he was trying to do and still does, is just show a metaphor of what is possible for the person. You can become this ninja warrior if you pay attention to what I'm trying to show you today and commit to learning those. Here's what you'll end up being. I'll show you another cute picture here. Look at this picture here. I like this one. Here's you now as a futures trader, most likely, unless you've been trading 10 years or more and you're steadily winning with a proven system, which is about 90% of you that aren't doing that. That's okay. I'm going to show you how to do that. You're a kitten looking in the mirror and you're hoping to see a lion on the other side. The only way to become that lion or that ninja warrior is to follow very strict principles, and I'm going to show you those right now, and you're going to love this. So get ready. We're going to get started now, and then like I said, later I will show you where you can start immediately making money tomorrow by joining my live room and just copying my trades. If you have an open futures account, you can come in the room and just start copying my trades, make money. In fact, doggone it, I wanted to show you that. Why didn't I have that ready to go? It'll just take me a quick second here, don't worry, because I told you about what our gain was so far. Let me bring this up and then I can go into the presentation. I'm keeping a tight eye on the time and everything, so not to worry. There it is. Just to show you what it looks like. This is so important. I showed you our room had a total gain so far, finishing up last one. We just started creating this track record. I just started developing this here. It's on our Boomerang Day Trader site, but it's currently something you just have to request from me. But look at this. Here's what we did every day in the markets from 8-7, just towards the first week of the month going forward here. Here's the price, here's the gain on one contract, and you can see it's all winning days except for one small loss day of $155 per contract and one small loss day for 15. Otherwise, all these were winning days. Plus 245, plus 215, plus 220. I go in each day and target 8 to 20 points in the NASDAQ, and then we close the room. We're usually done in the first 2 hours of trading. So you don't come in the room and sit there for all day and just grind it out. That may happen once in a while, but generally not. But what I'd like you to quickly pay attention to is for a small $5,000 to $6,000 account trading 4 contracts following my exact signals, here's the kind of gains you can expect. Plus $980, plus $860, plus $880, plus $1,540, plus $780, plus $600, plus $680, plus $320, minus $60, minus $620, plus $3,640 Whopper day when the market went nuts last week on the 25th. The next day another Whopper day plus $2,200. Next day plus 920 plus 1240 plus 1300 plus 1120, wrapping up the month here. Well, this was yesterday's 9/1, so this starts a new month. Again, this is the commission is not taken out of here. Each day is about $30 per 10 trades times 4, about $150 a day commission, 120. It depends, about an average, maybe about $120 on a blue-collar working trader account. So just a small $100 or so out of each one of these figures, but it's a huge gain. And again, we walk the talk. We show you the proof of what we're doing, and we're just here to help. We're not here to play games. We're not here to try to, waste your time or, I don't, because I'm day trading every day. I'm day trading, and then we have these uh, professional webinars with these wonderful webinar hosts like MarketFest that we can get on and help you understand what we're doing. So if you are interested in becoming a futures trader, this is a chance to learn everything. So what I'm going to do is show you exactly everything you're going to need to learn. I don't want it to overwhelm you. I just want you to show you that if you're going to become a professional, and if you join with us, you're going to have to, because that's what we require. I'm going to train you how to make $200,000 a year. I don't want you to just come in and learn a couple of things and go off dibble-dabbling around all these different webinars trying to piece together. I'm going to show you the whole enchilada in one training. So here's an example. You can order this from me if you want for free. It's called the 6 Essential Ingredients for Winning at Stock Index Day Trading. This is the educational part where we're showing. Of course, everything is here today, but I'm just wanted to cover my services, and I'll go over those briefly towards the end of the webinar. So we got about another 35 minutes or so, which gives me plenty of time to go over this. This is the very first step in successful futures day trading, and that is to find a very solid, reliable, and proven method of trading. And Boomerang Day Trader is a valuable example of that, and I'll go over that a little bit later. But think about it. These are common sense, but you'd be surprised how many traders don't follow this. So I'm here to help. I've trained over 50,000 traders starting back in 2001 when I opened up my services with my daily directional forecast newsletter. That's right. I'm the first and only person in the history of the stock market ever to call the exact direction of the stock market 8 hours before the market opened or more, usually more, with about an 80% accuracy. Now, I stopped publishing that newsletter after 15 years, just about 6 months ago, because the market became so rigged by the U.S. Federal Reserve and their rigging techniques, which they admit to. I'm sure you've heard of quantitative easing. That's a fancy word for rigging. They're getting ready to start quantitative easing again. They're not telling you that, but they started it and have been using it the last week or two as the market was getting slammed. They were heavily involved in market rigging today. But the point is, if you don't know that, you got a lot to learn. That's the first thing, and that's okay. Don't worry. We're going to teach you. We're going to help you understand that and prove it to you by showing you live in the market in action every day. It's easy to do. But here's what you're going to need to learn, whether you become an independent futures trader in the stock indexes using my Boomerang, for example, with the 90% guaranteed winning trades, or if you come and just join my room, become a blue-collar working member of my room, it's very low cost, and start making those trades that I just showed you on that track record. You can start that right away and start stacking up the cash. You know, take a week or so and get used to the room, get used to the high-speed action, get used to the way we trade. But anyway, you can watch that video on that site I showed you at daytradersaction.com. That'll show you exactly what we're doing. In fact, you'll see an exact, on the film, you'll see this exact room that's presented here. And I'll go over all this stuff in a few minutes. Let me quickly run through the absolute 6 essential ingredients. You must have absolutely, number one, over and above all, a tested and proven method for day trading on a short-term time basis, which is day trading. I hope some lights are going off. How many of you are trading with an absolutely proven, to your satisfaction, tested, long time, months and months and years of testing, proven method that gives you a high percentage degree of winning trades every day? See what I mean? That's the first thing you need. If you don't have that, you got a lot to learn. First of all, you're going to need that, and we provide that for you if you already have not achieved that, which I find that most traders haven't. Most traders, and God bless them, I'm one of them, have been through all of the stuff, winging it, bottom, seat of the pants trading. I got a great hunch here. My intuition tells me they're going higher here, My gut feel says that this is a top and they're going to turn around and go lower, et cetera, et cetera. Well, all of that I finally learned after many years of trading to just lump into one thing. It's called guessing. Guessing trades, 90% of those lose. If you have a tested and proven method, then you'll take a trade exactly at the spot where the method shows you. You'll put in a stop exactly where the method shows you, and you'll take a scalp or pullback out of that trade exactly where the method tells you. There's no guessing. Number two, the high five, or what is sometimes referred to as the taper big board. You must learn these indices which are used for reading what I call the surface bias of the market. Well, right up here, I have the live high five running. They're running right now. The market's still open for a few hours, and they're running right now. You can see the colors blinking. And what this is a quote page on eSignal. And this quote page is showing the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Composite Index, the NASDAQ Composite Index, the Transportation Index, the TRIN, and the all-important Advanced Decline Line, which is the advancing issues on New York Stock Exchange right now, which is 236 issues, the declining issues, which is 976. If you subtract it out, you get what's called the Advanced Decline Line. I call it the ADD line. It's currently plus 1,056. Now, I have a free report on that site, daytradersaction.com. And that's daytradersaction.com. There's a free report on there, how to read the market like a book. And it explains exactly how to read the high five. Have you ever seen on CNBC where they interview the famous floor manager and trader, Art Cashin? I'm sure most of you have. If you're fans of CNBC and you watch it, Art Cashin comes. He's an older gentleman, and he's very sober and very intelligent, and they always ask him when they really want a bottom line on what's happening in the market. And when you'll see him talking, you'll notice he's always looking up. He's looking up. He's going, well, it looks like the Dow's up here, but we got some weakness in the transportation index, it looks like. Yeah, and the advanced decline line sagging a little. He's looking up, looking at the big board into what I've condensed into a form of that known as the high five. I call it the high five and became well known for it back in 2001 when I first introduced it, and for the last 15 years. To this day, I use the exact same formula. And if you go again to my website there at daytradersaction.com, the one I showed you that says Trading Live with Mohan, remember, with the tape showing me making 3 trades live in a row, just go to that same page at daytradersaction.com and you can get your free report right here, how to read the market like a book. This goes into all the details of reading the sidewalk bias view of the market, reading the high five. Here they are, what I just showed you. Here's a table down here that shows what the readings are for the TRIN, the advanced decline, the ticks, the NASDAQ, the banking indexes, what percentages you look for to get a reading on those to discover whether the market is mega bearish, mixed neutral, bullish, mega bullish, etc. Now, I do have a programmed system on eSignal that's available that will color code these indices for you and allow you to do that, but it's very easy too, although that's a great program. It's only, I think, 50 bucks a month. It's totally worth it. If you build a quote page with your data vendor, you can just glance up, memorize the parameters from my book here, and you'll be able to read the market like a book using the high five, as well as how to interpret the high five readings for intraday. I know this may sound a little complex, but do you want to make $200,000 a year, or do you just want to plunk along and make a winning trade here and there and scratch your head and go back to another webinar or something, read another book? If you want to get serious and start making $100,000 to $200,000 a year with me, then join in and learn this simple stuff here. It'll show you how to build a data vendor, using your data vendor to build a simple high five. Then you'll be like Art Cashin, the 40, 50-year trading expert running floor traders for UBS and everything like that. How to set up a volume meter. Let me tell you something right now. If you don't watch the volume every day in the contract that you trade, my friend, you are trading in a clueless state. It's like driving a car without a gas meter. If you get in your car and you start driving around, you take a long trip down the coast where you live or by the lake and the beautiful highway and the forests, and you're driving along a couple hour and a half in your passenger. He says, well, how much gas we got left? You go, huh? What are you talking about? Well, how much gas we have left in the car? We've been driving an hour and a half. We might run out of gas way out here in the middle of the woods or way up here in this desolate coastal area. What do you mean? You know, a gas meter. And the person gives you a look like they don't know what they think about it. It's that level of cluelessness, my friend. I'm on your side here. I'm just trying to help you make 200 grand a year as a trader. That's what you want to do, right? If you don't know what the volume in the market is that you're trading, you're like a guy driving a car without a gas meter. You're going to get in trouble. You don't know what you're doing. And I'm just saying, if you're going to trade these markets, learn what you're doing. Come and learn from me. I've been trading for 25 years, almost every day in the markets since 1989. It was about 2 years after the market crash, except on those days where I'm in some exotic place like the Far East or some exotic island where they have no internet connection, which was intermittent periods during that 25 years. But other than that, I've been watching the markets every day. This is a volume meter. This is the individual volume of each candle. And this is what I call the 4-period Volma moving average, VOLMA. It's a standard indicator on most all data vendors. It tells you when the volume, what the average is. I use a 4-period moving average of volume, and I have these different levels that I teach everybody how to watch to make sure that volume's trading. Like right now, for example, let's move to the exact. Right now, you can see here the volume's pretty strong on NAS. This is on mini NASDAQ right up here, mini NAS. Trading about 500 contracts. That's pretty strong. Usually mid-session like this, they start dropping down. If they get under this magenta line, I teach all this in my room and on my services, which are, we have bi-weekly trainings. You can come there and for free and learn everything you want about Boomerang Trader and about the markets the way I teach. So trading under 300 contracts, you got to be a little careful. Notice how they just dropped down there in the average? We had a little volume drop here. Look at that, boom, right down there. You don't have to, you just want to learn this stuff. It's real simple. Once you learn it, it becomes like, well, like I said, driving a car. You don't get in a car and go, okay, let's see now, this is the steering wheel, and I have to turn it right to turn right, left. You don't have to do that. You get in the car and you drive, right? So once you learn all this stuff that I'm going to train you in to become a professional 200,000 a year stock index trader, you'll just get in and drive every day. And like I said, you can just jump in right away tomorrow into my room, drive along with me. I'll give you all the exact trades. I'll tell you exactly where the market's going in advance before the opening. That's what I did for 14 years with my daily directional forecast. Again, the only one in the entire industry that's ever done that, that's ever stepped up to the plate. I had no imitators during that 14 years. I had a lot of people try to put me down, and I'd say, really? Well, they'd follow my newsletter for a week or so, and they go, oh my God, he's right every day. And then they'd shut up. And a few that tried to imitate me had fall on their face in a couple of weeks, because you have to have what I call the 18 market force indicators to understand the underlying of the market and how to trade it. So now I do it live in the room every day. I just think it's better to have it live. That's why I stopped the newsletter after 14 years of publishing. But in this article, I will show you exactly using your data vendor, whether it's eSignal, Kinetic over there at NinjaTrader, or if you're using TradeStation or any of those, how to build an exact volume meter to look like this. Look at this. I go through all the steps. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3 is very simple. That's the way I like to get directions, so that's how I give them too. And this is the ADX indicator by Wells Wilder, just a brilliant guy. And this just shows strength of the trend. You can see it weakening now as the market kind of is just flopping around in this area. So this report, once again, is free to you as a gift for joining today to introduce you to my work, How to Read the Market Like a Book. Just go to daytradersaction.com and you can study this. At first, it's going to seem a little complex, but again, do you want to become a professional, make 200,000 a year, or do you want to just plunk along and pretend that you're going to be a market winner someday? You got to start by knowing what to do and doing the work. So I'll help you with that. And then while you're there, once again, if you just want to start making money right away without learning any of this stuff, not even Boomerang, you don't have to have Boomerang, don't have to have anything, you just want to start making money right away, click on Trading Live with Mohan. Watch this short video here. It's I think 20, 30 minutes, but during this period, it's live recording from the room, and there's 3 winning trades in a row, and you just read up about the material, and you can sign up right here for 29 bucks for 2 weeks. You can come in the room for 29 bucks and trade along with me and make a couple $1,000, possibly up to a couple $1,000 for 29 bucks, and then it'll automatically bill you $249 a month thereafter, which is very cheap considering that our blue-collar worker traders in the last 3 weeks made $16,000. But still, to this day, I'm completely amazed how somebody who has all those winning trades will tell me that that's expensive. And I think you still got that Kmart mentality, and to be a winner trader, you got to be willing to spend some money to get first-class quality services. So you have to learn how to analyze what is a first-class quality service, and that's one of the reasons I put this video on here. And for 29 bucks, which is chicken feed, you can come in the room and watch me trade for 2 weeks and just watch. You don't have to even do anything. Just write down the trades that I make, watch the action on NAS, and you'll be blown away. You'll be excited. It's thrilling every day, I'll tell you. Okay, that was my breakdown of the high five. I'm watching the time carefully. I got about 20 more minutes before we go into like a Q&A session, and I'll go into more detail on Boomerang and how you can start making 90% winning trades guaranteed following our simple rules. But I'll get into that in a minute. The high five, I just went over that there. The higher time frames of the market. Now, what that means is when you're getting, this is called a helicopter view of the market above the high five readings, which are right here. Right now, the high five readings are very bullish. You got that trend, well, the trend is moving up above 70, but still under 120. So it's in a neutral, leaning bearish type of trend position here. Advanced decline line 1090. The bullish period is 1200 or higher, so it's bullish but starting to fizzle out a little bit. So, but on the helicopter view above that is what I call the higher time frames. That's the 5-minute chart, the 13-minute chart, the 30-minute chart, 60-minute chart, and for day trading, the largest I'll go is the 135. So let me repeat that. It's the 5-minute chart, the 13-minute chart, 30-minute, 60, and 135. Now, where the real art comes in, and this is what I will train you to do, just join in my room there for 29 bucks, spend a little money, you'll learn more than you ever have on going to unlimited amount of webinars and courses and books. It'll take you years to do all that. In my room, you'll learn all that and more in the first 2 weeks, easy. First few days, really, I've had a lot of people tell me, my God, Mohan, I've learned more in 2 days in your live room than I have in 3 years of getting a bad case of webinaritis. Not to worry, though. I'm going to help you with all this stuff. That's what I've been doing for 15 years, and I still love it. I still get 50 to 100 emails a day. In the early days, I used to get 100 to 200 because, you know, you're new kid on the block, you get popular, and oh, my God. I still get them, though, 50, 100 a day. And then I trade live all day, and it's fun. You know, I do these wonderful webinars with these great groups like MarketFest, and we're having a market festival right now, and this is part of it. And that market festival is getting in the live action, stop making excuses, and if you're going to become a day trader, or you're going to follow one of the, like the program before as a program where you can get on his service and get stocks every day that are good to buy, you got to buy those stocks if you want to make the money. You can't just look at the service and say, gee, look at that. He recommended it for 18 bucks and went to 23. Wow, that's cool. Well, it is, but you're not going to make any money doing that. You got to buy a couple hundred shares. Similarly, in my room, and again, as I mentioned, just be ready to, I said, if you're interested in day trading the futures, particularly the stock index futures, this room can change your life because I focus on trading traders to make 200 grand a year or more. I just got a letter from one trader. In fact, let me bring that up. Boy, I'm just on a roll here bringing this stuff up. I seem to have it all handy here for some reason. I really didn't prepare as much as I would have liked to, but I like to back everything up with the proof, because if you don't do that, then what do you got? You know, here it is. These are not fancy endorsement thing that I prepared on the website, although I do have one of those. These are just recent endorsements from emails that I've gotten. Somebody sent me an email, I copied and pasted it onto this email, and I keep it handy to send out to people sometimes who ask. This was my most favorite one because I knew this guy, Clive. Just doing great with your Boomerang Day Trader, Ultra and Hyper Scalp. I've never been so consistently profitable and confident in my trading as I am now using your indicators. I am actually looking to close my contracting business of 14 years to be able to trade full-time, a dream come true. Now, that really teared me up a little because I know him really well. I know how hard he was working after he bought Boomerang fairly recently, and he used it for some months, and he just followed what I said. He got so good. Remember, contractor business, he's used to making 100, 200, 300,000 a year, and he's now going to supplement all that just trading Boomerang. So I'm just showing you examples. Here's a whole bunch of other ones. I'm making 5,000 a week with Boomerang and crude oil. This is awesome. Thank you. Look, you can see they're just copy pasted from the guy's emails. There's a whole bunch of them, and endorsements are endorsements. These were not planned. I just said, hey, do you mind if I use what you said in that email? Oh yeah, go ahead, no big deal. But I just like to show you the proof. So that's going to take us into the next step of the trading, where I'm going to have to get you to stretch your mind a little bit and be willing to step up to the plate and be willing to learn a couple things. So we got the high five. That's easy. I just showed you how to build a volume meter. Next step, simple candlestick reading. Now, I use very, very simple candlestick reading methods, and I'm going to show you right now what I mean. This is all you need to learn. Now, I know that there's brilliant guys out there teaching all these candlestick methods, and they have an approach for that, and that's great. Here's all you need to know when you're trading with me or with candlesticks. Now, first of all, I use a 450 tick chart, which is, to me, is like the perfect amount for me to tell how much rigging of the market is coming in, how much whipsaw is coming in, and all that. But as far as candlestick reading, let me show you something. You'll find this quite amazing. It's real simple. Hollow candles are bullish, and solid filled-in candles are bearish. See, that wasn't hard. No dojis or hanging man candles, or there's like 150 different types of candlery. None of that to learn. Hollow candles are bullish. Bearish candles are filled in. They're solid. So when you see, for example, like a run up here, look at all these hollow candles. You see that? This was early this morning. This is a West Coast chart, hence the different time. Look at that. Hollow candles running up. And then here's a solid one telling you maybe the top is breaking a little. Hollow, hollow, solid. And then look at that. From there, they broke to the downside with continued solid candle bearish, solid candle bearish. Now, of course, Boomerang Day Trader is going to color those candles red and green, making it even 108% easier. But look at that. Solid candle, solid, 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 all the way down. A little break here, hollow, solid, hollow, or solid. And look at, as the solid candles turn into hollow, they break and reverse. And then look at, it's hollow candles up, solid, 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 and breaking down again. I'm saying it's not a method or a way to trade off of. It's just a way to read the market that you're going to need to learn in order to be successful in day trading the futures. Hollow, hollow, bullish. See the hollow bullish candles moving up here, and as they start turning more solid, they start pulling back, turning hollow. I'm just saying it's just something to learn how to read, and I basically just taught it to you right there. Probably never heard that, did you? So simple. But that's all you need to learn, and I just taught it to you, so that part's over. But you got to put it into action every day. Basic Elliott wave chart patterns. These patterns occur regularly in day trading, and you should learn them following the simple approach I use. Elliott wave, people got lots of theories about it, and that's fine if they're using them for longer periods of trading. But for day trading, all you need is the basic Elliott wave 1 through 5 pattern and the ABC correctional pattern. That's all I teach. That's all you need to know. And the final thing, number 6, the Fibonacci retrace map. They're very accurate if used correctly because they create a roadmap if you're in a position, especially if you're looking for a larger scale move, and they should be part of your daily trading arsenal. There it is. These are the 6 essential ingredients for day trading. It's all you need to know to be successful, but you will need to learn these to gain skill in learning how to work with these elements and synthesize them. Key elements, synthesize them into your trading. This comes with time in front of the screen and practice. So those are the 6 essential ingredients of trading. I'll go back over number 1, over and above all the others are useless without this. A tested and proven method for day trading on a short-term time frame basis that produces steady winning trades for you, at least 60% accuracy or better. If you don't have that, you're still back to the drawing board. You still don't get it, and all these other things won't really help you. You have to have a proven method, and I'll show you one in a second here that you can get for a very low cost, but forget about the cost and all that for now. It's not important. Main thing is being willing to spend money if you find something that you feel is really, really valuable and good. Just like a surgeon. When he becomes a surgeon, there's no way that he starts out saying, well, I'm going to buy the cheapest used, discounted stuff I can, then I'll start cutting open people's bodies and operating on them. He has to go through an extensive training, make serious commitments to the business, and the last thing on that professional surgeon's mind is trying to cut corners when it comes to buying professional surgery equipment. Do you see what I mean? You have to look at trading that way. If not, you're not acting like a ninja warrior. This guy is going to slice your head off, and you're going to wish you never got into day trading. But if you become this guy, you're going to be so thankful you got into trading and met Mohan that you're going to become a ninja warrior trader. You're going to eventually become a blue-collar worker trader, go to work every day, and it's just a job. It's not a big deal. You're going to take this guy to work every day, go to work, kill him in the markets, and come home with $500 to $1,000 a day. Then, at that point, you will become the kitten looking into the mirror and seeing the lion, and you'll become converted into the lion. You will no longer be the kitten wishfully hoping and looking into the mirror, hoping someday to see a lion. I'm giving you the tools how to make that transformation. It's just a matter of whether you're hearing the message and your case of indicatoritis and webinaritis has not gotten so bad that you're missing the message. Proven method of trading. I mean, that should stop you in your tracks right there. Look back at your last 6 months of trading. Do you have an exact, crystal clear, proven method of day trading that is making you steady, winning gains, paying your mortgage, paying your bills, giving you time for fun, allowing you to buy your wife some beautiful new shoes, or to buy your husband, if you're one of our respected lady traders, a new bottle of the Paco Rabanne cologne you saw advertised in a magazine, you know, where you tore that page open, you know, you can sniff it like in the page. If you're getting your hair done or whatever, and they have a lot of those and you go, ooh, look at this Paco Rabanne. I'm going to get my hubby some of that. It's $150 a bottle, but hey, I'm trading with Mohan. I'm making that every couple hours. No big deal. Our blue-collar working traders make $240 a trade with 4 contracts, so you can see that that's not unachievable. That's the purpose. If you're doing that, then you got a winning method, and you're ready for the next steps. If you don't, in a moment, I'm going to suggest to you a method that I developed, and it's the only system in the history of the U.S. stock market that guarantees 90% winning trades. I'm not going to repeat that, but I hope you heard it for the first time. Most people, whoosh, goes right over their head. I don't know why, but they do. Well, it sounds too good to be true. Well, it sounds like you don't have any confidence in yourself. That's what I say back to people. Say that sounds too good to be true. How do you know that if you haven't come to one of my webinars and you haven't seen Boomerang in action? See, it just sounds like you don't have any confidence in yourself because you've been to too many webinars and things. You're confused still after years of trading, and you haven't really locked down into a way to make 200 grand a year. I'm presenting that to you today, and it's a little bit exciting, a little bit frightening, but you got to decide, do I want to be a trader and make 200 grand a year? Do I just want to keep my job, kind of dibble-dabble at trading because I find it to be mildly interesting, kind of like a chess game? Nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying this probably isn't the webinar for you. We're looking for ninja warrior killers to come in and start making 200 grand a year trading with our services. Why not? The high 5 I explained to you, I'm just reviewing this. The higher time frames of the market. Again, this webinar is recorded, I believe, or you can come and learn about that at just go to daytradersaction.com and you'll find your way over to meet me. You can email me if you want more direction. Higher time frames is a 5-minute, 13-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute, and 135 time charts that I look at while I'm trading. I glance at them. I have them all color-coded with algorithmic indicators on them so I can glance at them, but there's a real art of learning to synthesize those. I will show you how to do that. Simple candlestick reading, I already showed you that. Hollow or solid. Basic Elliott wave chart patterns and Fibonacci retrace map. Let me show you that real quick. How much time I got? About 5 minutes. I can do it. Then I'll have 10 minutes to show you Boomerang and answer any questions you have. Now keep in mind, I'm always available anytime, day or night, round the clock, have been for 15 years at Mohan at daytradersaction.com. Mohan at daytradersaction.com. Shoot me an email, say hello, tell me you came to the webinar, whatever. I'll send you some free stuff and guide you along the way. Fibonacci retracements and Elliott wave patterns. First, let's find an Elliott wave pattern. They show up every day. Elliott wave patterns take a little practice in learning how to read them, but they're not hard. Today was a weird day. I can tell you that right now. Today was an unusual day, and the reason is there was a big arm wrestling match between the bias. I get into that in my room every day, so I won't do it now. Here's an Elliott wave pattern. Wave 1, simple wave 2 reflex, wave 3, a complex wave 4. One of the rules of Elliott wave, most people don't know this who talk about Elliott wave, if you have a simple wave 2, you'll have a complex wave 4. It happens all the time. Wave 1, simple wave 2, reflex, wave 3, same direction, complex wave 4, and then a fifth wave, lower move, usually a stronger washout. Then you have an A move up, a B wave pullback, and that's your buy signal. We do these all the time in the room, and those are the ones where we look for the stronger 10-point moves. Boomerang helps guide those with its precision dynamic trend bands and this Cobra line here and all the other elements, which I'll discuss in a minute. Then you had an Elliott wave 1, a complex wave 2, a big thrust wave 3, and that's where you watch to see if wave 4 is going to fail. This should have been a simple pullback and a thrust higher in order for this Elliott wave pattern to continue to make a fifth wave upside, but instead they collapsed, canceling the pattern after wave 3 and causing us to buy a pullback here to the Cobra dynamic trend band area here for a stronger downside move into the collapse, which did not form an Elliott wave pattern, basically went straight down. Again, I'm talking a little fast here because I'm trying to get all this stuff out. Fibonacci, what do you do with fibs? When I want to mark a fib retrace or watch for a retrace, like say today, let's see, let's find, okay, say this whole thing happened here and I said, I'm going to run some fibs on this because I want to know where they're going to go. So I just go right to my chart here, Fibonacci retrace. If I take the bottom here and I run this line up to the top, boom, I mark it there, take them out and spread them out. Now what it tells me is that here was the bottom of that move, right, on the fib move. And I'm going to be, again, I don't want to overcomplicate it, but I'm just trying to keep it simple for our short webinar here today. Here's the move up. Here's 50% right at this white line retrace of the 50% level. Notice how the market comes right down to the 50% level, bounces back to the minor fib line up here, the retrace, bubbles around here. It's just a roadmap. It's not a trading method. Bubbles around here and then breaks down. You can see Boomerang, all the dynamic trend bands matching the bearish color, breaking down under number 1. So now you're watching for the key Fibonacci level on this green line here to hold, and they failed. It's just telling you it's a bearish market. They slammed them almost down to where they started back up from here, but still a good hint that they retraced the entire move. Now it's either cracked this line or ramp back up. Well, when they came back up and crossed back over the fib number here, you knew you had a bullish market going, or at least a good chance of that. But Boomerang already got you long right here on this blue dot pullback. And so now I'll roll into Boomerang, but that's how fib lines can work. It's just a 5-minute basic course, certainly not elaborate enough, but it's really not that much more complex than that. I'd like to tell you that so you understand. I just showed you everything you'll need to learn in 45 minutes. Picture if you spent days in my room, or weeks or months or years like many have, and are learning every day more and more about this stuff, doing a little homework on the side. My God, you become totally expert, and best of all, you qualify yourself. Key word, you qualify yourself as a good student to become a $200,000 a year earner in the markets. That's the best part, because that's cold hard cash in your hand. Okay, I'm just about a minute away here according to my clock. This is what the market did today, and I'll show you real quickly on Boomerang. I kind of went over it earlier, but I'll show you on, this is Boomerang Day Trader. Proud to introduce you to my baby Boomerang. I invented this thing about 9 years ago after becoming frustrated looking around the industry trying to find a program that really worked. I developed my own, and it's become a top seller in the industry now for over 6 years in a row. Number one, for a couple of years we were at the absolute top, blowing everything away, and now, you know, been around quite some time, but still extremely popular in the top sellers of day trading software. Now, the way Boomerang works, primarily, there's a lot of details, but you have this thin line here which colors the candles according to the color of this line. It's called the trade signal line. You have this thicker cobra line, the thicker dots here, this one running right up here. I use the, well, I better leave it on. I've had it on the whole time. I'm going to need it to say that's my cursor line here. And then you have what are called the dynamic trend bands. Now, the dynamic trend bands on Boomerang are the only system that tells you in advance when the market's going to make a runner. You've heard that term runner, where the market, like this is like a runner here. The dynamic trend bands tell you in advance when they match color or they cross over that there's going to be a run up in prices. And then when they cross over on the other side, they're telling you there's going to be a strong reversal. Look at that. There's the there's the dynamic trend band. I mean, all I'm asking you to do is watch this thick colored line, magenta, and azul colored line, and this dashed dotted one for now. Just watch those two. Look at that. See the crossover occurs right here. Look at that. Look at that. You could have put options on that practically. It's such a big move. Here's a crossover here. What happens? Choppy, but up they go. And they continue as the dynamic trend bands. Look, they never crossed over. They held here, and they continue further and further until they get where? Right here, where they cross over again, and what happens? Collapse to the downside. Right there in front of your own eyes, using today's market, I just showed you 4 examples, crystal clear, where my dynamic trend bands told you in advance of an extended runner alert in the markets that you could have caught. See what I'm saying? Now, Boomerang is even easier, because Boomerang, when you see an arrow here, for example, after this run-up, it opens up a sell channel with this red arrow, and as long as these dynamic trend bands are within 1.5 points of crossing over or are matching color, all you do is trade the pullback to that yellow dot, and you can scalp 3 to 5 points in the move down. I can show you how to catch larger runners, but for now, I just want you to become expert at catching our 3-point scalps. And instead of this business of how much you left on the table, forget all that. I know it's a runner here, and I'll show you later how to do those after you get experienced. But what I'm saying is get really, really good at scalping our 3 to 5 point targets and put on more contracts. Because think about it. A 20-point runner is a 20 points runner is a lot of risk sitting in the market waiting for that. It might reverse back and smash your stop out, even though you had 8 to 10 point moves. But guess what? If you got 4 contracts on a 3-point move, that's 12 points, right? You want 20 points? Put on 8. You'll get 24 points on that move, just on a micro move here rather than this big move. You see what I'm saying? Step up to the plate, put on more contracts, get really, really good at catching the boomerang moves. This is not a boomerang move here until we get a crossover. Colors have to be matched and crossover. This leap here is what's called a fat channel, one of the simple rules. There's only 3 of them. We don't trade those. Here's the crossover, so we're just waiting for the next buy channel. Here it is. There's the pullback signal line, and up they go. Here's a crossover coming in here, but this fell off really quick, so there's no trade here. Went into heavy chop mode, but right here on this new sell channel with the yellow dot, and they instantly fell off the wagon for 3 points there. Here's another winning trade with the dynamic trend bands all matching color. Straight drop right off the yellow dot here, which is alarmed. and marked on the channel so you can catch it instantly. Then the market keeps running, and then we're looking for the next buy channel to open up. This one just shot straight up, so you wouldn't have had a chance to catch it. You might have caught this pullback sig line here because you would have been on high alert with the crossover occurring here, suggesting an up move in action, which it was. It was a quick spurt to the upside. You might have caught this one. You wouldn't have traded the fat channel up here, but then when they instantly reversed, now you're watching for matching dynamic trend bands. Here they are, all matching the red color here. You buy that pullback to the yellow line on the signal line there, the yellow dot, and boom, down they go for 3 points. I just showed you 6 winning trades in a row today in only about an hour-and-a-half period of the markets. If you want more, here comes more. Crossover to the downside. I got a rule that if a downside crossover fails, which is very rare, but when they fail and they turn around again, look for an extended move. So with this failure of the crossover and a recross with the matching trend bands, you can buy this pullback here, and they shot up 10 handles almost instantly. 7 winners in a row. Nothing here because the spread's too wide and the dynamic trend bands a match. Here's your crossover, so all we're doing is waiting for what? We got a crossover to the downside. A little quiz for you. What are we waiting for? That's right, a new sell arrow and a pullback sig line, which is right here. Instantly down they go. See, you're already an expert on Boomerang, and you've only heard about it for the first time in the last 10 minutes. That's how easy it is. If you miss this and they rush down real quick, you can still, don't trade the yellow pullback here in the fat channel, but with a brand new crossover like this, just go ahead and trade the Cobra right there. And right here, right? You can trade them at the Cobra on those. It's another one of our simple rules. We got like 4 simple rules to learn. So simple. And every 2 weeks, as mentioned, we have bi-weekly training sessions. That's right. You can come to my bi-weekly training sessions. All you got to do, they're free. You can learn all about Boomerang before you buy it. It's only $11.95, just chicken feed. I've kept the price the same for the last 6 years. $11.95, and I just showed you 6 winning trades in a row. If you had 4 contracts on, you would have made $1,400. You just bought Boomerang in 2 hours following the method. See what I'm saying? So you can't look at it like Kmart and think it's expensive. That's just, you're not a trader if you think that way. You have to think, oh my God, I paid for it in 2 hours and I own it the rest of my life. Boomerang doesn't cost $1,200. Boomerang is a gift from heaven. A gift from heaven for a trader who's been losing for years and years or breaking even, comes to a webinar and finds a system that guarantees 90% winning trades following the simple rules. That isn't expensive. That's a gift from heaven. Oh my God, where have you been all my life? Like the dream girl that walks into your life, right? You don't worry about how much you're going to have to spend to keep her happy. Just kidding. But Boomerang's like that too. Go to Boomerang, go to my site, daytradersaction.com, click on Boomerang Trader, and that opens us up into Boomerang. Got all the information here you need. You can use it on any contract you want, E-mini, S&P, Russell, Euro, FX, gold, crude oil, all that. Just remember, there's action every day in the U.S. stock indexes. Every day. It's quite exciting. I do have a blog. I'll show you that real quick, where you can go. And then I'll open it up for any questions you might have here. I got about 5 to 8 minutes left for that. Here's my blog site. I have the daytradersaction.com. I have 2 services only. Boomerang Day Trader, which is available now. Recently we started this on eSignal. They're wonderful at eSignal. They're so wonderful and supportive. I've been an eSignal user for 20 years, and now they have Boomerang. You can lease it for $175 a month if you're an eSignal user. A Ninja Trader, which is just fantastic. We produce Boomerang Day Trader, and it's $11.95. You can own it outright, have a lifetime license. Here on the blog, you can sign up and get notices. Under the blog section, I do my bi-weekly, Wednesdays usually, recorded sessions where I go over all the setups that happen over that 2 weeks, talk about the markets, talk about special things you can learn, update things. If you have questions, we can do mini courses on all the things like I've done today, and you can see how many of them there are here. Recorded webinars, all kinds of stuff, everything you'd want to know about trading, the US stock indexes. If you go up here, you can go to my webinars, short 5-minute video tutorials for quick learning. Under resources, I have 2 precision indicators that I've developed for add-ons to Boomerang that aren't necessary to follow the simple Boomerang method that I just showed you, but they're there if you want them. For $195, you can get the Precision Trade Guide or the Hyper Scalp, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. Shows you how to read inside the Elliott wave patterns and inside the candles with extreme precision. Again, not required for trading the Boomerang method, which is so simple for 90% winning trades, but with Hyper Scalp, you'll see when you use it. In fact, if you want to learn more, just go here, purchase Hyper Scalp, click on that, watch Hyper Scalp videos. It's $195. It'll show you stuff that no other indicator does. So that's what I offer to traders. There's a little history about me. I started trading back when the best brokers would advertise a 1-call ring policy in Wall Street Journal and the Daily Business Daily Business Journal, whatever that one's called, I forget. That was how they got business. We promised their promise was they'd pick up the phone one ring and say, yeah, Mohan here, buy 3 at the market, because they knew you're trading NAS. Buy 3, hold on. And you'd sit for half a minute. You go, okay, bought them at 50 half. Okay, did you want to play stop? Yeah, play stop. And then you hang up the phone and you can't get back to him until you pick up and hit the speed dial again. That's what I was trained in. I came in from that level. Now, you guys got it so easy. We all do with this click and push. In 1 click, you get the market going. See what I'm saying? Anyway, boomerangtrader.com. Let's see if any trades are set. What time? 2012. Maybe something's setting up here. Now, we just had a dynamic trend band cross. I'm going to do a quick live trade, and then we'll go into a question. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get something, but I just want to show you how this works, how we show you how to set this up. Market's pulling back lower. Dow's still strong. Trend's pushing up a little bit higher. Market's fizzling out a little bit, still looks strong. Now, I'm not going to, don't count in this trade, but I'm going to go long here at the market. We're going to go long 6 1/4. Now, so that print 6 1/4 right there, that blue line, it automatically set up a 5-point stop, and our target is 11 1/4 up here, because we're long at 6 1/4. Our target's 11 1/4 for a 3-point target gain. So I'm just saying, I don't know if this trade will win or lose. That's not the point. I'm just trying to show you how with Boomerang Trader, you set up your bracket automatically. You get in the live trade here. And again, I don't know if they're going to take them down a little lower, try to ramp them up from here. But either way, the market's like right now, 7 1/2, 775. Let's see if they jump 8, 8 1/2, and then we're out. And I click exit. You see that? I clicked exit, and I got filled. My thing's not up here, but we got long at, I just did a live trade for you. Aren't you impressed? Got long at 6 1/4, and I got out at 8. I think a little bit above 8. Right when I hit exit, they jumped 9, so it might have been a little bit above that. So I just made 2 points right before your eyes using Boomerang. Now, what I was looking at was, notice how they moved down, they reflected, and they pounded the downside. This is a Bollinger Band here, standard default setting. They pounded the Bollinger Band here and bounced up towards the trade signal line. So I took a long trade looking for a reflex back up here towards above the dynamic trend bands here. Notice how the price went exactly to 9, just above the DTBs, and then now they're sinking back lower. So I got out with 2 points there, and you can see it was 2 points because each point on one contract is what I had loaded. Each point is worth $20 on the mini NAS. So right there I got 2 points, and you see the meter shows $40. If I had 4 contracts on, which most people in our trading room use 4, some have 10, some do more, 4 contracts would have been $160 cash in your pocket. And you can see that would have been fantastic. So they are getting hit to the downside, but that just wanted to demonstrate the brackets to you. and I look cool because I got a winning trade out of the deal. Instead of them going like this, it wouldn't have even mattered because I just shown you the bracket. Then when you would have seen the 5-point bracket automatically stopped you out, which is great. But I show you how to set these up when you own Boomerang. So with that in mind, I know I'm running out of time a little, so thanks very much to Robin, the host here at MarketFest and Winvesting. If we got any time left, I'll happy answer questions. And if we don't, it's no problem because I'm available round the clock at Mohan at Day Traders Action. So thanks very much for joining with me, and I'll leave it up to Robin if we can answer some questions or we'll just move on.
Yeah, Mohan, you have until 3 o'clock, so you have 15 more minutes for questions.
Holy smokes, thank you. Okay, I'm living in the lap of luxury here. Now, I don't know how to see or access the questions. Do I just bring up that question section? Let's see. Oh,
Yeah.
There they are. Okay, I got them right in front of me now. I use this wonderful GoToWebinar service every day, so I'm a little familiar with it. Our first question is what I had already covered. 90% winning is too good to be true. Well, Shine, your name is Shine. That's a cool name. I like. Mine's Mohan. Yours is Shine, so it's kind of interesting names. It sounds too good to be true to you because you've never seen Boomerang Day Trader before and you haven't been in the industry that long. Well, if you have, you see that there's a lot of people making up stuff. But to just say it's too good to be true, my usual reply to people say that is you have no confidence in yourself. If someone comes out and advertises that and backs it up and guarantees it, and you want to become a winning trader, I would do everything I could to find out if that guy's telling the truth or not. And that's what we do. We invite you to come to our, well, there's already recorded webinars on the blog that I showed you. So before you say too good to be true, see, you're stating you should say it sounds too good to be true, but you're stating it's too good to be true. So you have no confidence in yourself. You're immediately relegating it. Sounds too good to be true, but I just showed you a winning trade in front of your eyes right there. And I showed you 6 winning trades today following the exact Boomerang thing. So this is my advice. One of our friends from our trade room, Noah here, says, good day all. I'm in Mohan's trade room and he makes great calls. So thank you, Noah. Appreciate it. I'll send you your check tomorrow. No, he joins our room. He loves our room, and it's very nice. I'm surprised to see him here. He's very kind to pop in and make that wonderful comment. I mean, I can show you on the screen. There's his comment right there. I'm in Mohan's trade room and he makes great calls. Okay. Enough of that. All right, so moving on. Art is a bomb. Oh yeah, Scott's talking about Art Cash, and he's the bomb. Not sure about sober. Well, sober means he's been a trader for so long. You become sober. Sober doesn't mean you do. I wasn't referring that he doesn't drink, because he probably does a little bit, like we all maybe have a nip every now and then, maybe more. But I'm just saying. The sober attitude, which comes from trading along, you become very sober. You like these markets now, the last 3 weeks, oh, they'll make you sober, all right. Down 500 yesterday, up 163. Last week it was up 300, up 300, down. What was it? Down 300, down 300, down 600, and then up 300, then up 800. I forget. I mean, you become sober because you go, okay, whatever, I'm just going to try to, get used to doing all this and stuff anyway. If I came into your room, do you show exactly where to enter in enough time to actually make the trade? Yes, but you have to become a ninja warrior. These are high speed, especially the last 2 weeks. The last 7 trading days have all been fast markets. That's a term. Everything's electronic now practically. The floors are all drying up, but in the older days, the floor would declare a fast market, and at that point, the brokerages would no longer be responsible for your stops. In other words, if you had a stop at on NAS, you're at 42.05 quarter, and that stop could hit 42.5 quarter, and they dropped right to it to 43 half. They weren't responsible to make up your trade. When they declare fast market, well, the last 7 trading days have all been fast markets. But the answer to your question is yes, Scott, I do make I don't tell you how to make all the trades. The Boomerang trades are thoroughly explained on my blog at boomerangtrader.com, and you can see audits there by me. There's one webinar I did recently that I send out to traders. You can request it, where I spent about 2 hours and I went through every exact trading setup. There's no auditor that can audit it because they don't know the system. I'm the auditor, and the hundreds of people that come to our trainings every week are the auditors, and they buy Boomerang because they see that it's true. You know, I show the exact setup where the market went. When these dots print in the signal line, I can go to this chart a year from now, go back into the charts, and that dot will be at the exact same place, as well as the position of the dynamic trend bands. See the dynamic trend bands matching color, either a 1.5 from each other or matching color. Pull back the signal line, and down they go. It held a 5-point stop. See that? 13 even. Went to 1675, and down they go for 3 points. We scalped 3 points. We're out right down here at 3 points. So you can see the audits every bi-weekly webinar that I do. Come and join those. You can see them. But then getting back to the question, again, I highly encourage you, if you want to see how I trade, let me bring this up here again. I've already shown it several times, so if you were paying attention in the webinar, that's the first lesson in trading, especially if you join with me. Pay attention. You know, you can't turn your brain off and expect somebody to make money for you. If you want to make 200 grand a year coming in my room, you're going to have to get good at following what I'm doing and making the money. So again, in answering that question, you may have done this, maybe this question's a little bit older, so yeah, it actually is 40. You probably did this anyway, so don't take offense ever at anything I say. I'm just a hardcore edgy trader, fast markets, and I've been doing it a long time, so you know, you develop a personality around that. I'm a pretty nice guy usually, and sometimes I even come up with some good jokes. At Live at Mohan, Day Traders Action, go to Live at Mohan, scroll down, and you can watch this video. Just click right there. And you can see it's about a 20-minute video recording of the room, and I make 3 winning trades in a row on both sides of the market. I think there's a bullish trade. I think one's a boomerang trade. Others are what I call exhaustion reversals. I got one I call a crunch, an exhaustion reversal, a crunch, and then we do what are called slammers, which are trades off bottoms or tops, which are very hard to do, but I've become pretty good at them. And those we usually look for 10 points, 8 to 10 points on those. Still a scalp, but 8 to 10 points. But you'll know in advance, but sometimes we're trading, all of a sudden I go, get ready, like, I'll give you an example. Let me move this over here. Got 10 minutes left. Okay, so now the market's still open, which is kind of cool. Like right here, say, and this is just theoretic, don't take this trade, but here's what I'm going to say. Say I decide I want to go long here, right? I just, all of a sudden I say, I want to go long. So I go long at the market, and I'll give a quote. Okay, 42.08, 42.08 half quarter, 42.08 half. Okay, we're long at 42.08 half. And now we're in the trade, right? Now, I don't know where this is going to go. I'm not planning this to be a winner or loser because I haven't had time to really prepare all the indicators. There's 42.08 half, and I tell you, okay, you're long. Now, you had to be sitting there waiting for me and ready to take that trade when I called it out. You can't be expecting a 10-minute warning and think about the trade for 5 minutes and get in. So now we're long at 8.5, right? And they just shot up to 1075. Normally, I would have nailed that trade, or I might be waiting for a little higher move, but we're looking for 3-point scalps in most of these deals. So they just ran up to 1075, and if they run up there again, it's too late now, but I'm saying while I was narrating and explaining your question, they ran up to 975. I think it was 911. They actually ran up to 1075.11, and we're long at 8.5. I would have hit the close button right here, closed it out. Right there, we closed it out at break even, or I think we lost a tick. Remember, that was 40 here. But it's exactly like I just showed you now. And watch that video, and you'll see 3 winning trades in a row. But I'm watching the market, and I'm able to set them up because I'm able to pay attention and prepare everything. Like now, I look up at all these different things, and I go, yeah, I still like the long side here. Let's say, for example, I go, yeah, I want to get long again. So I go long. I said, go long in the market, 850, 875. I'll call out the quotes, and I'll go 850. Okay, so we're long at 850 at average price. Now, you may have got 8.25. You might have gotten 875. it's not a big deal because we allow for slippage. So now we're in the trade again. The bracket's set up for 5 points down here if we get knocked out, if they all of a sudden spike them down lower. But we're sitting long in the trade, and I'm analyzing the ticks and the different indicators and things and going, okay, hold long. We're still looking good here. Let's see if they can pump them up to, we're looking for a target of, we're long at 850. We're looking for, say, 1075. Now, forget this trade because it's just randomly being done here live for the purpose of what we're doing. And you're watching the market move, and, obviously they're moving against us, but it wasn't planned necessarily to be a winner, although I think it can be if we hold on here. But my first one made 2 points. I still deserve a little credit for that one because I'm just randomly grabbing these and quickly analyzing what I'm seeing on the tape and seeing if we can turn it into a winner. But we're long at 850, and we're looking for a ramp up at least to 1050. So what I would probably do is drag and click this down to 1050. That's how you do it, and I say, okay, well, let's see if we can nail them up there. Okay, look at that. There's 975 coming in. Let's see if we can bust them out, move them up a little bit higher. I missed that covering them up there. 9.25. Let's see if we can jump them up to 10, and we'll cover the trade up. There's 975. See, they know an audience is watching me, so trying to play games with me here. We got them up to 975. Again, it was just, and then it just went boom and closed them out. But this trade here, I think if you held it, it's later in the day. The market's a little flimsy here. It's backing off the highs, so it's a little bit questionable. I still think they can pump the thing up higher, but it's not the type of trade I'd wait for. So I hope I answered your question with some live trades, some live example. What you just saw there is exactly what will happen in the room, except I'll have all kinds of analysis behind it. I just randomly did that. I still think they can shoot up to 1050 there, but our normal goal is 3 points. So the goal of that 850 long would be 1150. So while I'm talking now, let's see if they jump up to 1150. Just demonstrating, wasn't intended to be a winner or loser. Is the panel the D, M, or ADX system? It's not a system, you mean over here. I've simplified ADX into a simple histogram to tell us when a trend is slowing down. Like right now, the upside trend is slowing. You can see the ADX kind of falling off here. So it's just one of the things we use in the room to determine trend strength and direction. Sorry, what do green solid candles mean? Well, in candlestick, all I'm saying is you got to learn candlesticks, but not all these dojis and haramis and hanging mans and all these complex things. Real simple the way I teach it. Solid candles are bearish, solid filled in candles are bearish, and bullish candles are hollow. And that doesn't mean that, as it's trending down here, it can show you hollow, or solid, hollow reflection is going to be a bear. Goes solid again, down they go. It's just a simple way of reading candlesticks. You got to know how to read candlesticks, and that's a basic way to read them. We have the extra advantage that Boomerang, my trade signal line here, colors the candles red for bearish, green for bullish, so it makes it so intuitive and easy to read as you're going up. Just, hey, attend one of our free webinars or go on to boomerangtrader.com, and there's some there recorded. One I did last Wednesday, and you can just go there and watch the webinar. I teach all this stuff every week, tirelessly, and with great enthusiasm, as you can see from the webinar. And I've been trading all day, and today was unbelievable. It was just, what are your interpretation rules to make a meaning of those volume bars? Well, Keshav G, the interpretation of the volume bars are not part of a method or system. It's just a quick glance. We're looking for 11.5. Remember that trade I was telling you? They're smoking them up there. Look at that, 11.25, boom, 11.5. We hit it. 11.50 right there. See that with my cursor? So that one trade actually was a winner, and I would have normally held that because of the crossover configure. I just got out because I was just trying to explain that question the gentleman had. So back to Keshav G's question here. This is called VALMA, volume moving average. It's actually an indicator that most trading platforms have. See, like when I click here and I go to indicators, Boomerang, well, this is NinjaTrader, and all of them, eSignal, all of them, they will have a way to access. It's just taking a second because I got so many cool charts loaded on here. Hold on a second. There it is. Here's NinjaTrader, for example. Here's this whole library of indicators. You see that? Way down here under volume, see that one right there, Volma. See that? VOLMA. And Volma is a volume moving average. So you can set it to any setting you want, and I use a 4-period setting for day trading, and I watch the volume moving between these levels. And again, if you want to know more about that, rather than me take too much time explaining it, just go to my site, daytradersaction.com, and click on how to read the market like a book. And down at the bottom of that report, it will show you how to build a volume meter with whatever you're using if you have a data vendor. Volume is the lifeblood of any active trading market. It's like having a gas meter in the car. Driving a car without a gas meter is nuts. They don't allow it. You have to have a gas meter if you own a car. There's no car that's not going to have a gas meter in it. So how to build it and then how to use the volume meter. So rather than answer your question here, how to use the volume meter, advanced studies in volume and ADX readings. And you can email me anytime if you want to know more information. But study all this stuff first. Build a volume meter. I'm not sure who your data vendor is, but they all have ways to build a volume meter like I'm showing here. So read that report and you'll get a great benefit from that. And join our live room, buy Boomerang, whatever. Hey, look at that market taking off. See, that was Boomerang telling me, because what happened? The Cobra crossed the flattening dynamic trend band. These tightened up within 1.5 points. I got long here. We were long initially at 758, somewhere in that area, and I just got on the pullback because I didn't really want to fool around with it. It actually held. You can see it held the 5-point pullback, and this is rare. It's just a herky-jerk market today, but 7, 8 turned into 16 at this point. So they're trying to ramp them up into the final hour here. God bless the riggers, I say, because right now the riggers are really desperate, as we all are, because it's like everybody's realizing if these riggers hadn't propped the market up for the last 3 years, we wouldn't have had a bull market. And right now we'd be 50% lower. So they're coming in trying to rescue the market. I call them the riggers. That's my affectionate name for them. They're the Federal Reserve. You see these FOMC meeting. It's those guys. Janet Yellen's the current head, but they're all just people placed in there by people behind it that run the whole deal. It's not a United States firm. It's an independent private company. A lot of politicians right now want to abolish the IRS and they want to abolish the Federal Reserve, and I don't know, all power to them. We don't need riggers. We need honest markets and everything. But that's how the interpretation of those volume bars. These are individual bottom volume bars here, K sub G, and these will each bar right now. See, it turns red because the volume's pulling back, and then if the market starts moving up, it'll turn green again. Still red, but they're trying to push higher. Let's see. See, there's more selling volume coming into that particular price candle right now. Now it's going to turn green. See, it's turning green because these are not necessary for Boomerang. Boomerang so simply just by a pullback in the correct configuration to the dot on the signal line within the buy channel or the sell channel. Here, it's a sell. Here's a buy. You put that thing in there that I'm running over time here, and it works beautiful. And again, go to boomerangtrader.com. You can learn all about it. $1,200 and you own it for life. And you can I just showed you all those winning trades there.